too can command the wind, sir! I have a hurricane in me that will strip Spain bare if you dare to try me!
Women's rights.
Women's rights are human rights.
The more I have realised that fighting for women's rights has too often become synonymous with man-hating.
Hello, my name is INTAN FARHANA DIEVA BINTI JAMRAN with my matric number 2022637422.
Hi, my name is Kara. I'm matriculating. My matric number is 2024256398.
Hi everyone, my name is HELEENA IMANNINA ISHAK and my ID number is 2024608716.
Now, let me introduce to you guys what is feminism. Feminism is a movement that fights for equal rights for women and all gender. It challenges the unfair treatment and discrimination based on the gender. One of its main goals is to end patriarchy, which refers to the system where men hold most power and dominate in roles of leadership and control. Based on the scholar Simone de Beauvoir, was a key feminist thinker best known for her book, The Second Sex, 1949. In this work, she famously stated that one is not foreborn, but because a woman, meaning in a society, the gender roles are not natural, but created by the society. She argued that the women are often seen as the other, defined in relation to men rather than as an individual in their own right. Now we move on to the early feminist thought. Feminism began many years ago with early demand for women's education and basic rights. It started by challenging the idea that women were intellectually inferior, instead calling for them to be recognized as equal thinkers. Early feminism aimed to bring about both legal and social change to improve women's status in society. Based on the scholar Mary Wollstonecraft, Mary Wollstonecraft was one of the first major feminist thinkers. In her famous book, A Vindication of the Rights of Women, 1792, she argued that women deserve the same education as men. She believed that women are not naturally weaker than men, but appear so because they are denied proper educations. Wollstonecraft called for women to be treated as rational and intelligent individuals capable for contributing in the society.
Hi everyone, today I want to explain the key characteristics of feminism. There are 4 characteristics. First, feminism is about advocating for gender equality. Second, feminism critiques patriarchy. Third, modern feminism focuses on intersectionality. And lastly, feminism supports bodily autonomy and reproductive rights. Advocacy for gender equality. At its heart, feminism seeks to establish equal rights and opportunity for all genders. These include challenging traditional gender roles and stereotypes that limit individual potential and advocating for equal access to education, employment, healthcare, and political representation. Second characteristic, critique of patriarchy. Feminism critiques patriarchal system that prioritize male perspective and marginalize women. It aims to dismantle these power structures and societal norms that perpetuate gender-based discrimination and violence. The third characteristic, intersectionality. Modern feminism recognizes that individuals experience multiple forms of discrimination and oppression based on factors such as race, class, sexuality, and disability. Intersectional feminism seeks to address these interconnected forms of oppression, ensuring that the movement is inclusive and representative of diverse experiences. The last characteristic of feminism I can tell is bodily autonomy and reproductive rights. Feminism promotes the right of individuals to make decisions concerning their own bodies, including reproductive rights, consent, and freedom from objectification and sexual violence. This encompasses access to contraception, abortion, and mental health care, asserting that bodily autonomy is a fundamental aspect for human rights.
Hi everyone! So today I will explain to you the three main types of feminism in international relations. So each one of them see gender and global politics differently. So let's start with liberal feminism. So this type of feminism focus on equality between women and men, especially in global politics. It says that women should have the same right and chance to lead, to negotiate, and to participate in global decisions. One example that I can show you is the UN Resolution 1325, which support women in peace and security work. However, the critic says that by aiding women in the system doesn't fix the power issue. Next, we have Marxist feminism. This one links gender inequality to capitalism and class. It says that the economy always takes advantage of women, especially in low-paid jobs. Thinking of factory workers, as you can see, mostly are women working for long hours for low pay. Marxist feminists wants the whole system to change, not just reform. Now let's move on to cultural feminisms. They say women's traits like care, empathy, and cooperation should be valued in global politics. So, it believes that this kind of trait will make politics become more human and less violent. However, the critic says that it may stereotype the woman, like saying they're soft and emotional.
I'm going to talk about the factor of feminisms. Feminism is a movement that fights for equal rights between men and women. It begins because many women were not treated fairly in the society. There are few important reasons why feminism started, and I will explain them one by one. The first factor is social and cultural influences. In many cultures, people believe that men should be the leaders and women should stay at home. This idea has been passed down for many years through family, religion, and media. Because of this, women have fewer chances to go to schools, work in the good jobs, and make their own choices. Feminism begins to grow when women started to speak up. They wanted to change these unfair ideas. Books, movies, and social media help people understand that women deserve the same right and respect as men. The second factor is economic inequalities and class struggles. In many jobs, women get paid less than men, even when they do the same works. Some women are stuck in low-paying jobs, and a lot of their works at home, like cooking, cleaning, and caring for family, is not even paid at all. Feminism fights for equal pay and better job chances for women. It also supports women who are poor or from working class family. Feminists believe that all work, including work at home, should be respected. The third factor, which is the last factor, is education and awareness. In the past, many girls were not allowed to go to schools. Without education, they didn't know their rights and couldn't find a good job. But now, more girls are getting an education, and that gives them more power to make their own choices. Feminism also spread through awareness. That means teaching people about women's rights using schools, books, social media, and even everyday conversations. The more people learn, the more they can support equalities and fairness for everyone, even for the women itself.
Feminism impact on global. Now, I'll be talking about how feminism has influenced peace and security studies.
contributed to development and human rights, and highlighted the essential role of women in global affairs. The first impact, influence on peace and security studies. Feminism has transformed how we think about peace and security. Traditionally, this field focused on things like military power and national borders. But feminism shifted the focus toward human security. That means protecting individuals, especially women and vulnerable groups. It also highlights how women and girls are disproportionately affected by war, particularly through issues like sexual violence. This perspective helped lead to a major step forward, United Nations Resolution 1225 in the year 2000. This resolution calls for women to be included in peace negotiation and post-conflict rebuilding. The second impact highlights the role of women in global affairs. Feminism doesn't just focus on women as victims. It also highlights women as leaders in global politics and peace building. It challenges the fact that women are often left out of major decisions, like those made at the United Nations or in peace negotiations. Feminist movements support equal representation, such as using political quotas to ensure more women are in leadership roles. And importantly, they also consider how race, class, and other identities shape women's experiences around the world. The last impact I want to highlight is contribution to development and human rights. Feminists have also shown how poverty and development affect women differently than men. They push for gender-sensitive policies that support education, healthcare, and equal opportunities for women and girls. They also fight for the idea that women's rights are human rights. This includes protection from domestic violence, second access to reproductive healthcare, and stronger action against human trafficking.
Feminism is a powerful movement that fights for fairness and equality for everyone, no matter the gender. It challenges unfair treatment and aims to create a world where all people have equal rights, opportunities, and voice. From its early beginnings, with thinkers like Mary Wollstonecraft and Simone de Beauvoir, to its influence on global issues today, feminism continues to shape a more just and inclusive society for all.